Morgan, that girl that I was talking to said you're like really mean to her. Who? The girl I was talking to at the bar. I've never seen that girl in my life. Every time you see her, apparently you never say hi to her. I don't know her. Why would I walk up to her and say hi to her? I don't know her.
Welcome back to another episode of First Rounds and Me, a First Rounds and Media production. Today's guest is no stranger to sparking conversation or to commanding a mic. You've seen her across your feed, but reducing her to influencer misses the point. She's a model, a muse, a storyteller, and a voice unafraid to say what most of us only think. In this episode, we pull back the curtain. Why do people connect with her so deeply? The layers of identity and what it really means to build a life, both... Fuck, why do I keep screwing that one up? And what it really means to build both a life and a platform by sharing yourself with the world. Morgan Cohen, wearing sunglasses and drinking orange juice. Welcome to the show.
Okay, I would like to preface this by saying I would not normally be wearing sunglasses indoors. I'm not this big of a douchebag. I just look like complete trash.
There was a little bit of a miscommunication.
A bit.
I was fully under the impression that Morgan understood that she was coming on a podcast. She thought she was coming to talk about bringing back her
podcast.
And maybe filming at the studio.
So
happy accident. We're here now. And like to Joe's point, these are typically the best podcasts.
Yeah.
When everybody's
part of
prepared.
Morgan's podcast is built into the story anyway, talking about her past podcast,
See,
right?
there you go.
It's going to be amazing.
This is going to be a juicy fucking
Podcast inception. I love it so much. All right. So the first question I like to ask people
Sure.
is if you were to introduce yourself or to describe yourself without mentioning your occupation or any of the superficial factors that we put into society today, how would you introduce yourself?
I would say that I'm a 28-year-old girl trying to figure out her life that just moved to New York because she had her heart broken in LA and couldn't stand LA anymore and needed to restart her life. So I moved here and decided to completely revamp my entire identity, and it's been great. I feel like that's how I would probably describe my life if we're not choosing vanity or anything that I do for a living. That's just kind of what I'm going through as a human being.
I think it's a beautifully raw description.
Oh yeah, I'm very vulnerable. I will literally trauma dump on you the first 30 seconds I meet you. This is my thing. People don't like when other people trauma dump, and I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I met 30 minutes ago. Tell me why your mom abandoned you. I want to know. I'm curious.
Very aligned with us.
Yeah, trauma dumping is like it's like this. It's a catchy word or phrase, but the reality is it means that you are comfortable with being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really beautiful thing in today's day and age. I think people kind of like monopolize it or they spin it in like a negative way, but I don't think it's negative in the slightest.
Do you care to share like what happened?
With my breakup?
Yeah, how long did you date the guy?
We dated for 3 years, and I will just say some things just don't work out. Love is not always enough, and not everything's meant to last forever. And me being myself, I have a really hard time letting go, especially of beautiful memories. And I think after a breakup, all you can see is the beautiful memories, even though you want to see all the bad stuff and why things shouldn't have worked out. You mostly just start replaying the things that were great, and you're like, why am I still thinking about this? And he used to live with me, so everything in my home, it was my family home, everything in my home reminded me of him, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to get the fuck out of here, because I was so viscerally depressed. Like for an entire year, I don't even think people even recognize this, but I didn't really post as much as I normally do. I didn't do a lot of things I wanted to do, and I was just so sad. I didn't have a life, and my life was just completely just turned upside down. And I was like, I have to make a change. And I've always wanted to move to New York since I was 16. And I came here on a whim for a friend's birthday, and I just never left. I ended up staying with two good friends at their place for 5 months. Always going to be grateful for that, because they let me take my time in finding my perfect home, because it was the first time I'd ever moved out. I didn't ever think I was going to move out. I thought I was going to do generational living for the rest of my life. And then I was like, you know what? I'm 26. I have to make a change. And they were really supportive, and my parents were supportive, and my management was supportive. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. And I did a whole series on trying to find a fucking apartment. By the way, hell on earth trying to find an apartment
don't even
here.
talk to me. I mean, we got very lucky, but that was fucking...
Where'd you land?
Where'd I land? I landed in Chelsea.
Nice.
But the one thing was, during this like whole apartment search, it was the year, of course, before they stopped the broker fees.
Of course.
So I had brokers like up my ass saying, you know, if you pay me a little more, I can put your name down for this apartment. And I was fighting for this one apartment that was on Gay Street. I wanted this apartment so bad. I cried when I didn't get it because I wanted it so bad. But the realtor or the broker for it was like really shady, and it just didn't work in my favor. But I really wanted, it was a perfect location. And then on a whim, I found this apartment because, funny enough, I was looking at a different apartment in Chelsea, and the broker there, I guess he wasn't technically a broker, he was just a guy that was like management of some of these buildings. And he's like, you know what, if you don't like this apartment, let's go, I'm going to go show you your apartment right now. And I'm like, what do you mean you're going to show me my apartment right now? It takes me to this apartment. I'm like, holy shit, I found it, go to my friends, and I'm like, I finally found it, and they're like, oh, thank God, because I was literally sleeping in the same bed as like my best friend at the time. I was sleeping in the same bed with her for 5 months straight, so you can imagine how much you get under each other's skin.
But also very telling of like a true friendship, the fact that you can do that.
She was, yeah, they were both two of like the best people in the entire world that could have ever like supported me ever. Like, they were awesome.
So from that transition of you like moving out to New York on a whim after heartbreak, which is like arguably just some of the hardest times of life when your heart's truly broken, like Joe can attest to this.
Yeah.
Where do you land now? How are you feeling today?
With the heartbreak?
With the heartbreak, with the move to New York, with the position, like you said earlier, in the way in which you introduced yourself, which again I think was so like beautifully vulnerable and raw. Of like, you're just trying to figure out your life, trying to figure out who you are. Like, where do you think you are in that process?
Well, when I first got to New York, my headspace was so fucked up. Like, I really mean, like, I was really trying to get over this breakup. And with me, it's like, when I'm trying to get over things, like, I burn every bridge unintentionally. That's just like how I am. And it's something I've worked on for the past year of like, I don't need to self-destruct my entire life just because one thing has blown up. But for the first 6 months, I was just like a menace to like everyone in my life. Like, I was just like a fucking mess. And I think it got to a point where I landed being like, I'm so lonely right now because I've pushed every single thing away. And I was like, I have to stop fucking doing this. So to be frank, I tried to kill myself. No, it's okay. We don't need to go deeper into it, but I tried to kill myself, and I was like, this is my rock bottom. So the only way to go from here is up. And the people that showed up for me after I tried doing that were the best people in my life, because I knew that they will be there through anything. So I stuck with them, and now I have the best friend group of the best friend group I think I've ever had in my entire life.
A testament to community.
Yeah.
Really, truly is.
Huge testament to community. It's like 7 of us girls. I'm finally in like a girl group chat, which I've never really been in. And we have like our girls' nights on Thursdays. And I'm just so grateful for everyone that's like helped me on my journey to come here. Even the friends that like I didn't really work out with, I'm still grateful for that. They were on the journey with me, because it's like, this was a huge turning point of my life. But where I'm at with like heartbreak, I mean, listen, I miss my ex every day. When I get drunk, I literally like always talk about it. Like, I always will miss him. He was a huge part of my life. But at the same time, I want him to be happy, and we don't communicate, and that's okay. If the world aligns us to be in each other's lives one day, then maybe that will happen. But for now, I'm kind of chilling with like dating. I don't really date. I never really date. I talk to people here and there, but I don't take anything seriously. And when I do, I like fall very, very deeply in love.
You strike me as the type of person who's like all or nothing.
I am. I'm a very all or nothing person. Like, I either like you from the minute I meet you, or I want nothing to do with you. It doesn't really change.
I have to say, Morgan, I like genuinely appreciate this. Like, Hannah and I, we do these podcasts, and I think for us, it's to meet the real person, right? Most of the people we have on have a following. They're someone who's relevant to the public.
Yeah.
But we like to get to know the real them. And I think you sharing the real you right off the bat with us, who are strangers to you, it says a lot about you, and I like really appreciate it. And
thank you.
I wish more people did this, right? Because there's a version of you on social media that looks like you have the perfect life.
Yeah.
And I think other people then compare their lives to you and are like, Morgan has this perfect life. Why don't I have a perfect life? But if more people show who they really are, I think collectively it helps the whole, where it's like everybody goes through shit and we're all just real human beings.
Yeah.
And I think someone with your platform doing that it's really special.
Actually, one of the really, because and we'll kind of go into how we met and like how we came into the same circle. But when I was because I do a massive amount of research on everybody when they come in, and I was looking through your TikTok in particular, and it struck me as how raw and vulnerable you are on there, which is really interesting for today's day and age. Like social media really is this like very gilded view, and even when people profess to be raw and vulnerable, it's still very curated, and you can tell that they've gone to the lengths to be able to make sure that this kind of works perfectly with the narrative in which I put out. And I found it very interesting with yours, where it was kind of all over the place in the best way.
Yeah,
like it was almost like you had these brainwaves, and you're like, I'm just gonna blurt this out, and then I'm gonna put it up, and I'm not gonna really think about it too much, but it lands in such a beautiful way. And I think one of the things that you're really well known for is storytelling, which I think is such a beautiful, almost lost art today. So I want to know, why do you think that people are so drawn to you and the storytelling that you put out into this world?
I think it's because, unlike a lot of influencers, I'm really vulnerable, but I'm not the type of person that will ever bring anything to social media, especially drama. I don't talk about people. If I do like say like a story time, it's literally so vague, but it's exactly what happened. I'm just not gonna like allude to who it is.
Name names, yeah.
Because I think that is such a classless thing to do. And I also think that if you once loved someone in your life, you should never ever want to hurt them. And especially like most of the time I fucking feel like Thanos. Like I have like an 83% woman following. Every girl that follows me is like a hot girl, and they're based in LA and New York. It's like, if I truly wanted to hurt someone, I have all the power in my hand to do it, but I choose not to. And that's kind of what love is. It's being able to have all the power to hurt someone and choosing not to. And I think that with my story times, it's like whatever I'm going through, I always just talk about in a really interesting way that's vague, but also really to the point.
Transparent.
Yeah, very transparent. Like, I think majority of my things are like about feeling like you're not enough for someone, or going through a heartbreak, or going through a friendship breakup, or being just lonely in general. Every person experiences that, but no one ever wants to talk about it. Everybody just wants to talk about like the brand deals that they got, or where they're going on their next vacation. This entire summer, my passport was expired, and I chose not to get it renewed. I got invited on 100 trips, and I just wanted to be still and just have like a summer where it's just like, I'm just gonna be myself, and I don't need to go on any of these trips and like show people that I'm doing a bunch of shit. Like I'm not doing a bunch of shit, and normally I don't do a bunch of shit. Like I'm just like the average girl, like just trying to fucking figure out what's next. Like, what am I doing?
But I think it's needed for people like with a platform like yours to show that like in stillness and in quietness comes a lot of growth and a lot of healing. And I think it was very evident through like particularly like the last month and a half of videos that you put out. They were these brainwaves, like quite profound thoughts about yourself, about society, about healing, about love, about breakups, like all these types of things. And so often, particularly young women, and this is not a blanket statement, particularly young women are quite impressionable, and you have all of this in front of them that's this gilded view of life, and then they have people like you where they can look up to you, but in a very real, tangible way. And I think it's just beautiful. What part of yourself do you find the hardest to share?
To be honest with you, I think I've gone through so much in my life involving relationships, friendships, and even my family dynamic. A lot of people don't know about my family dynamic, or what, like I've shared small bits and pieces of it, but I think the hardest thing to share is probably like the things I let people do and just like get away with it and not like react to it. I think that's like a hard thing. It's like a lot of people will say horrible things about me, and as much as I want to defend it, I'm just like, what's the point? Because you already have your mind made up, so there's no point for me to defend anything. Like there's no point, because like if you want to believe a certain thing and that's like your choice, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you otherwise. I just feel like I don't care enough. The people that love me, and the people that don't. And the one thing that I think I always struggle with is like truly defending myself, like in a way where it's like I'm not crashing out on you. I'm actually telling you like you cannot treat me like this. And
Basically putting a boundary in place.
Putting a boundary, but some people consider putting a boundary as if like being on social media, people look at you as if you're supposed to have like this certain personality, like you're like a monkey acting for them, especially in person. So I feel like even when I'm drunk, I have to be like on my best behavior. Like even when I don't want to talk, I'm always like going to talk to anyone that walks up to me, because I just feel like that's a human decency thing to do. And also, if you're a fan of mine on TikTok, I owe it to you for even like wanting to hear anything I have to say.
You have a sense of obligation to them.
Do you think that there's pressure on you to be a normal person? So like, do you see what's going on with Theo Von right now?
No.
So Theo Von did a set here in New York a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
and
my friends
apparently like he bombed it, but he's going through a lot of stuff. And he like said,
Poor Theo.
yeah, he said some stuff to the people in the audience, and he's not doing well.
Oh.
And this is just hearsay, but you know, I kind of relate to him because he's someone who deals with mental health issues. And you said something that I think most people who have a platform deal with. It's like you're a monkey just there to entertain people, and you're not allowed to be normal.
They almost
and I feel like with him, he's literally at the peak of content right now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody in the world's working with him. He's doing political stuff that he must feel like, shit, I'm not human. And I can't even imagine what that's like, where he's like, I just want to have a normal thought once in my life.
Well, we live in such a sensitive generation that you can't, like, comedians can't even be comedians anymore. And that's like something I don't agree with. I think that you should be able to say all the dark humor jokes you want, because you're actively paying to see this person do that. You know that's what they say. Like, I fucking love Theo Von. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, and it's a joke. People don't understand satire.
So they don't. And Ricky Gervais said it best. I can't remember the exact quote he said, but basically said, like, how can you comfort people when you're, like, to your point, like, you're literally coming to watch comedy. Like, you know that everything I'm saying is not exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm sitting, like, not up on a soapbox being like, fuck this person or fuck this. Like, it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's humor.
Yeah.
And the fact that you choose to not take it in humor, you're basically putting me into a box where in which I can't move. It's crazy. But that whole adage of not being able to be not like a normal person, but people have this expectation of you. And then you feel the sense of obligation, so you walk around in your life.
But I think to normal people, so out of the three of us, I'm the only normal person. And I think to normal people, we see you as, okay, you're a social media creator, you're a model. When you worked, you told me a million stories of people on set would be like, no, she's too ugly. No, she's too tall. Now her teeth are fucked up. Like, and you're standing there. And these people are just talking about you like you're not a person.
Yeah.
And on you, I'm sure you get comments of like the trolls of trolls. And it's like,
here's my thing. Like, when we say I'm the most normal person,
You're
like,
normal.
I don't consider myself famous in any regard. Like, yes, I have a platform, but I'm pretty sure like 1 out of 10 people that you meet in a room nowadays all like can say they have a platform of some sort.
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the most normal people. People aren't like asking to take photos with me. I'm not like famous like that. I just like, I do have a platform that I'm grateful for. But when I say like perform, it's like, so this happened recently. I'll tell you a story. So I was at this album release for my friend. It was very intimate, maybe 40 people, right? I don't know anyone there except my friend that's throwing it and the 3 friends I invited. I know no one else there. Maybe like 2 other people, okay? And I'm with my friend, and she's talking to this girl at the bar. I'm like, okay, cool, blah, blah, blah. We're just like chilling, having fun. I leave, and my friend says, Morgan, that girl that I was talking to said you're like really mean to her. And I said, who? And she said the girl I was talking to at the bar. I'm like, I've never seen that girl in my life. She's like, every time you see her, apparently you never say hi to her. I'm like, I don't know her. Why would I walk up to her and say hi to her? I don't know her. And I was like, she could have said hi to me. I would have definitely like talked to her, but what do you mean? And she's like, I think she just followed you on TikTok, and maybe it's just a persona that she was expecting you to be like really nice to her. And I was like, if I don't know you, I'm in an intimate gathering and you know who I am, please, by all means, come up to me and say something. Say hi. Like, let's have a conversation. Like, any fans that I've ever had walk up to me, everyone knows in New York, I will literally talk to you for hours. Like, I have no problem doing that. I love to do it. I love to talk to people. But when this girl said that I was mean, I was like, is it really mean to not say hi to someone that you don't know in a setting where these are like, it's an intimate setting where I'm not doing social media and I'm just like chilling with some friends, having some drinks, listening to some music. Like if you want to say hi to me, you can. If we have mutual friends, why would you not come and say hi to me? But I was talking to my friend about this, the one that she said I was mean to, and she was like, I think she just expected you to like be different. And I was like, you know what? I'm not a monkey and this isn't my circus. And if she wants to come say hi, we could have like easily made friends. But if I'm out drunk, and I will always say this, if I'm out drunk, you didn't meet me. I don't like, we didn't meet. If I'm sober, we met, because I say hi to everyone when I'm drunk. I will literally trauma dump on you. You know way too much about me. And then you say, hey Morgan, how are you doing? And I'm like, how did we meet? And she's,
I guess that's like if you saw Dave Chappelle in a bar and you were like, sat down with him and he didn't tell you a joke and you're like, man, you're not funny.
He's not
like,
that
you're
funny.
a fucking loser. And it's like, I didn't know that you expected me to just tell you jokes all night. Like,
exactly.
what the fuck?
Yeah, people can't be on all the time. But wait, so this kind of goes back to something that Joe and I were talking about a couple of days ago, and then I did a little bit of research on it. Have you ever heard the pin of shame?
No, what is
So
that?
it's basically people, creators, when they get, because I'm sure you get your fair share of like, do you actually get your fair share of like nasty comments?
I got my fair share of nasty comments when I was dating my ex and when I got canceled for Ozempic. And
Why'd you get canceled for Ozempic?
I was the first person on social media to come out saying I was on Ozempic, and everyone gave me so much shit for it. Like, I mean, an absurd amount of shit for it, to a point where I got bullied into to stop taking it, which I already did stop taking it at first. Like, I was like, I'm going to talk about it, but I'll tell you my experience that I had on it. And people are like, you're stealing from the diabetics. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not fucking stealing from the diabetics.
Talk about being a trendsetter.
No. And because a year later, everyone's like, yeah, I'm on Ozempic. Like, is it okay to talk about it now? Fucking Serena Williams makes one ad about it, and now it's okay.
You know,
I'm
you're
like,
a
are you kidding
trendsetter
me?
when my mom and aunt are like, should I take Ozempic? I'm like, how the fuck do you know about Ozempic? Like, what the fuck?
But okay, by the way, I was on Manjaro, not Ozempic.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking
Yeah.
thing. But regardless, when I was on that, people were like, you're already skinny, blah, blah. I'm like, you asked me how I lost the weight. I tell you, and then you yell at me for it. Like, that's quite literally insane. I'm not telling you that, like, I'm bulimic or I'm anorexic. I'm telling you I took a shot that literally made me lose 30 pounds. And if you want to take it, go right ahead. I'm telling you that I did it. But if you want to yell at me for it when you ask me the question, it's insane.
But why would creators or people with platforms want to be honest if people are demanding honesty, you're then honest, and then people don't like the answer?
Oh, they hate it. Like, when I talk about anti-aging, which I always do. First of all, if you want to age gracefully, fine. That's fine. I don't. Oh shit! No. I don't. I mean, like, I'm good without having like I don't want my forehead to move. So sorry, my bad. Like, but it's my body, it's my choice, and if you want to do it, more than welcome. But don't ask me the question.
But you know what? In the same way that girl that you met at that party had this obligation of you, this expectation of you, right? People almost have this expectation of
that
you.
I didn't meet at that party.
That you never met at that party.
But never met her.
That they own a part of you in a way, or they expect you to act a certain way, and when you go against that narrative, then they're like, how fucking dare you?
I mean, they feel very entitled.
Yes.
Like, some people feel very entitled, but you know what? I will say, as you should, if you are watching someone's journey, like, it's like, I hate to put Kylie Jenner as an example because I absolutely fucking adore this woman. But like, it's like the Kylie Jenner thing where it's like everybody wanted to know if she got her lips done because everyone wanted to start getting their lips done, and then she didn't talk about it, and then everyone was like, what so what's the tea? And then she finally came out with the fact that she got her lips done and her boobs done, and people were like, oh my god, like, her doctors are getting the most like things they've ever gotten. Like, I for one think that if you're watching my journey and you're seeing that I'm actively looking different throughout it, and you're asking the question, I feel like you are entitled to an answer, because I don't like setting a false beauty standard. I want to tell you exactly what I got done if you want to get it done, or if you're just curious. I don't really care. Like, I'll talk about anything. some people want to stay more secretive, and that's fine. But if you're going to do social media,
I think you have to be transparent.
you
about
have
it.
to be transparent.
I think that when that came out, when everybody started to be transparent about the work that they got done, I was applauding on the sideline because I was like, that's fantastic. At least give people, like, it's such a, again, it goes back to like young women in particular, like you're giving them unrealistic beauty standards. You're sitting there saying, this is how I look naturally, when that's not how you look naturally at all. And then they grow up thinking that the way in which they look is not acceptable. It's just this really vicious cycle. When people are transparent about it, it's beautiful. And also, to your point, then if people want to get the same thing done, they know exactly where to go.
Exactly. And I always like promote the place, like this place I go to, Minimal Skin. This girl, Kelsey, literally will change your entire appearance.
So when I was researching you, I've never had anything done, but I'm like, just post baby. I'm like, okay, I want like a refresh. I screenshot the chick that you posted.
Oh my God.
And I'm going there.
Kelsey will literally sit you down and you can ask her, be like, what do I need changed? And she'll be like, okay, you need this balance, this, and this. And she does it very, very naturally. And I will never go to anyone else now.
I'm coming to you, Kelsey.
She's
After I finish
incredible.
breastfeeding, I'm coming to you. Don't worry. Anyway, but going back to this pin of shame thing, which I thought was so interesting. Like, so creators basically like really nasty comments or people that say like out of pocket, like whack shit, they'll pin it to the top of it so that people can either, like their community can kind of create discourse around it, or it's basically to publicly shame these people, which I thought was so interesting and kind of double-edged. So I'm, as a creator who's gotten their fair share of probably shitty fucking comments, do you see it as community building, or do you think it's like a manipulative kind of engagement farming by creators?
I think that people have an attention span of 2 weeks until they forget. So I don't think there's any reason to make it a big deal. If you make something a big deal, it will be a big deal. And if you just like somewhat ignore it for however long, and then you just keep doing you and you just keep somewhat getting more successful, people genuinely tend to forget.
Yeah.
Like,
It's almost highlighting negativity is never a good thing.
highlighting negativity is never ever a good thing. I think that it gets to a point where people will feel shameful of themselves later on in life, and I think just let them because the more that you focus on other people being negative, it's going to hurt you more than it hurts them. You're giving them exactly what they wanted. They commented publicly to hurt you. What's the point? I remember Victoria Paris posted this where she's like, if I have the option to block you, I'm gonna block you because it's my platform and I can do whatever I want. Rightfully so. There was a whole thing about her, or about like people. I remember I think it was last year or 2 years ago, people kept like screenshotting the fact that Victoria Paris blocked them. And I thought it was so fucking funny because I'm just like, you guys are giving her more clout. You do realize this. Like, the more that you like are showing that she's blocked, like you are building her.
But also,
and this
why
is
do you
great.
my biggest frustration, hugest frustration, is that you follow somebody to troll them. Like
what's the point?
You're following them. So every follow they have supports them monetarily, platform wise. So you're following them to troll them. It makes no sense.
It's like
to me.
Sanjaya. Does anybody remember Sanjaya from American Idol? When everybody put him... Sanjaya from American Idol.
I'm Australian.
Oh my God. This was, I want to say, this was when I was younger, where people were voting to put him through, even though he was the worst on there, just because they wanted to keep watching him be horrible. And like he
Is that
built
the guy
an entire
that did
fan.
Fuck.
You can look
Gangnam
up.
Style? No.
No.
Oh.
It was, I just remember being in elementary school and people being like, we have to vote for Sanjaya. We have to vote for Sanjaya. And everyone's like, he's horrible. And they're like, yes, exactly.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. People just like to make themselves feel better in a comical way, but they don't realize that they're actually building other people up as they're built, like thinking that they're breaking them down.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking wild. All right, let's get into your podcast.
Okay.
Okay, so when did you start your podcast? Why did you leave it? And why are you ready to bring it back?
What was it about?
That's a good question too.
So my podcast was, you know what? I can actually just say like my podcast was just a plethora of random shit that I was thinking. Like I never came in with notes. I always just started talking. It was really easy. I just love talking. So it's like I like my entire job is basically talking to myself. I have an entire schizophrenic episode every day. But that podcast I started when me and my ex got back together, and even then I was still really depressed, and I was just trying so hard to just do something to make myself feel better and like have my own light, because I did date an actor. Somehow, even though I had my own platform before I dated him, I still ended up under a shadow. And I never wanted him thinking that I needed him for anything, because I never did. I never needed my ex for anything. Like, the only thing I needed him for was love. Like, I loved him, but I wanted in a way to make him feel proud of me in a really weird way. And when I made that podcast, I was still so sad, but I was really trying hard to just like build something. So I felt like I was doing something good for myself and also others. So I just like yapped and talked on there. And then it got to a point where me and him were fighting so much and just like not in each other's lives. And I still get like really emotional about it, but we were just fighting so much and just not in each other's lives in a good way. And I was like, I can't fucking like function. I was losing so much sleep. I remember there would be weeks where I didn't sleep at all, like at all. And when we finally were at the midst of actually breaking up completely, we got into like this argument, and he said some mean things. I said some mean things, but one of the mean things he says was about the podcast. And I remember thinking like, all I ever wanted was for you to think that I was cool and like just successful on my own. And like, I just never needed you for anything else. And like, I just wanted you to think that I was doing well.
Be proud of me.
Yeah, I just wanted you to be proud of me. And he said it when he was drunk. So like, I'm not going to like hold that against him, but it did hurt a lot what he did say. And I remember I canceled the podcast after that. So I was like, wow, the one thing I wanted to do, I didn't accomplish. So I was just like, fuck. And then I realized that podcast was actually doing really fucking well. That podcast was doing well. Shouldn't have taken it to heart. He even apologized for it after. I just remember thinking like drunk words, sober thoughts.
It probably took the wind out of your sails.
Well, I'm going to say two things.
did.
One, it goes the exact opposite. So we did a podcast before this, just Hannah and I. And one thing I said was, I hate unsolicited advice, which I'm about to give. So
Contradictory. So.
contradiction. But I will say, we spoke about like the partner, the biggest decision you make in life is picking your partner, like by far, at least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And when you're picking your partner, the thing I think you should focus on most is that person a full fan of you? Do they support everything that you do, no matter what position they're in, what position you're in? Are you fans of each other? And you want to see each other do the best that they can do? And if that doesn't happen on any level of someone saying, fuck your podcast, or your podcast is nothing, or not being a full fan of you, it's hard. And I think
it's pretty indicative of the relationship.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
everything Hannah does, I'm going to support. If she said, tomorrow I want to bag groceries, I'd be like, fuck, that's what you want to do? Like, let's do
go.
it. Let's push it.
One thing I will say is that he was always extremely supportive over everything I did. I think our relationship just started going sour. Like, it wasn't the fact he wasn't a supportive person. He was really supportive, like extremely supportive, like always just telling me, like, he always said like, Morgan B. Cohen, I'm your biggest fan. And I was his biggest fan too. Like, we really, really loved each other, like so much. I think it just got to a point where we just started being nasty to each other, and it wasn't.
Hannah touched on this earlier. So we dated for what, 2 years?
Like a year and a bit.
Yeah, a year and a bit. And after that first stint was getting to the end, we were so mean to each other. Like, I even said a few times to her, like, I don't like you. Like, I literally don't like you as a person. And
which is crazy because I'm fantastic.
and we broke up, like, full on. I was like, this person and I are never going to be together. We're just different. And it comes full circle. But yeah, you just say things that you don't mean. And I was like, man, to tell her that I didn't like her, that's so not true. But when you're in the thick of a fight and you're drunk, when you're drunk and you don't want, and you're fighting, that's just chaos.
You just get poisoned against each other, I think. And it's like, you can have so much love, and it's almost like that love really does turn sour. It's hard to, love is such a strong emotion. So is hate, and so is frustration, and so is anger. And like, they can get melded so quickly and so easily. And passion gets mistaken for a lot of different things as well. And so sometimes actually more often than not, Joe and I are big proponents of this, is that you have to walk away. And it's not to say that that's the end of your story. It's like Joe and I broke up 4 months, no contact. Fully believed I was on my way back to Australia.
Yeah.
And then we met up for coffee one day. And he was like, oh my God, I still love you. I was like, oh my God, I still love you too. And then when he was like, marry me, I was like, okay. But...
And then I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it may not happen, but I think that like it's more so going back to what you said. It's like you can still love somebody, you can still be the biggest fan of somebody, and still not be right for one another.
Yeah.
And it's such a hard reality to wrap your head around. And I'm sure that that's all the things that you were grappling with. Hence why you moved to New York, where you did all these types of things. But I really hope that even though that there was a catalyst for the podcast ending, that not only your social media and your platform shows that there are so many people out there that love to hear what you have to say. Bring it back in a long form, but bring it back for you. Not because you need the pride of anybody else.
I know.
But bring it back for you so that you have an outlet to be able to speak in a long form thing, I think would be so beautiful.
Well, that's kind of what I've been on in the past like 6 months is I've been just doing everything for me now. And I used to do, I mean, for the past, since I started dating him until I want to say maybe even up to, let's take away the last 8 months.
Okay.
Before that, I was not over it, like at all.
Yeah.
So up until then, I did everything in order to just get his attention. Like everything in order for him to be like, oh, she's doing so good. She's like I wonder what she's up to, blah, blah. And then I just gave up because I was like, the best thing I think my ex ever did for me, and it still like hurts me to this day. Like I still get drunk and I'll like call him and it'll go straight to voicemail and I'm like, yep, right. The best thing I think he's actually ever done to me is stop talking to me, because I would have never given up. So I think that was maybe the best thing he's ever done, because I knew he didn't want to hurt me anymore. And it still does hurt that we don't communicate, because you become strangers with someone that you were with for so long. But at the same time, it's like the nicest thing you could do to someone is let them go.
Yeah.
Especially,
and it's almost
yeah.
like the universe is just saying, like, Morgan, now is the time.
Yeah.
So pouring so much time and energy into somebody else and a relationship that was two-pronged, put back into yourself, darling.
Yeah, he's also so young, so it's like he has so much growing up to do. And that probably was like definitely my fault for thinking that something's going to go further than what it was, because our age difference. Like we did have an age difference.
You guys should talk off camera, because I think Hannah went through something similar with an actor when
Yeah.
he was very young too, and
yeah.
Hannah was a bit older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the biggest advocate of you bringing your podcast back.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk about it
before
after
we keep
this.
going, I just want to say, like, life is about your own story, right? No matter who you're with. You could be with a celebrity, an athlete,
Yeah.
and they're going to have a big platform. But once you live for yourself and you live as your own lead character, that's when life feels great. And I think you're really cool and you're really smart and you're really talented. You should want people that want to be in your book, right? And you dictate your own book. And I think from what I'm hearing, you wanted to be in his book, which is great. You loved him and you didn't want to give up, but you were forcing yourself into his book when your book's amazing. Let people come into your book and just let it shine.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a little piece of furniture in his life. And then I was like, you know what? I think I want my own home. Like, I'm trying to figure that out.
Damn fucking straight. Love
Yeah.
that analogy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to completely switch gears. The reason why we know each other is because you are creating the first drink for the First Rounds of Me Cafe.
Hell yeah,
Which
I
is
am.
so frigging exciting. And I was actually using you as a use case the other day. We were talking to, because you're only going to do like a residency for like a month, right? And we were talking to other people about it, all these kind of things. And I was like, you have to understand, like Morgan came in, and this is not like Morgan just making a drink. Morgan came in and tested, how many rounds did you do? Like 15?
I did like maybe 20 rounds.
140.
Yeah.
To be able to get the perfect drink. So I want you to tell our listeners what the drink is and why you're so passionate about it.
I'm making a chai tea latte. Why I'm passionate about it is because I only drink chai tea lattes. That's like my thing. There's one chai tea latte that I've been getting since I was, sorry, I have to, okay, I'm good. There's one chai tea latte that I've been getting since I was a kid that I'm obsessed with. And I can't find it in New York, and I wanted to recreate it. So I got the recipe, and we're going to recreate it here. And I want the best chai tea latte in the fucking city. That's what I want. I want everybody to fucking experience this, because everyone back at home knows this chai tea latte. It's incredible. We got it every single weekend. We had to have our like girls brunches, and we would get our chai tea lattes. And I wanted to bring it here and just have a little piece of home here, and also have everybody experience how fucking good it is. And that's my
It's
goal.
delicious. Wait, so where'd you guys get it back home?
We got. I can't tell you.
No,
Oh.
it's a secret.
We can't.
Oh, really? In LA?
I can't tell you because I stole their recipe.
Oh, it's in LA?
Yeah, I can't tell
Nobody
you.
knows.
Nobody knows.
So if you're looking for the perfect chai tea latte,
it's going to be here.
Best Friends
Can we
Cafe.
segue that into my new segment? that
We
I
most
added?
definitely can.
Okay.
Although one part of it's already answered.
Yeah, so your drink of choice is a chai tea latte.
Yes.
So what I did, I added this segment. It could be a horrible segment, but I'm like,
We're gonna try.
So I went through your Instagram,
Right.
and I put in all the information I can about you. That you sometimes smoke, that you wear denim a lot, that you. I put a bunch of things in of all your posts.
Right.
And I was like, ChatGPT, I want you to tell me what you think Morgan's favorite coffee order is, and her favorite drink order are. And ChatGPT compiled it all and spit two things out.
So we now know the first one is incorrect. So yours, chai tea latte, correct?
Yeah.
ChatGPT thinks you are a black iced coffee or an iced oat milk latte.
Can you explain why?
Hell no.
He says, I peg her as a black iced coffee or an iced oat milk latte type, something stripped down, aesthetic, and easy to carry in a candid IG shot. Oat milk keeps it trendy, Gen Z aligned, but still minimalist.
I don't drink oat milk because it's really bad for you, and I don't drink coffee because I suffer from crippling anxiety.
Oh, that'll do it.
Okay, so that was wrong. What about drink?
Yeah, what's your go-to drink?
Oh, my skinny girl drink. I get vodka, seltzer, and a lot of lime juice. I'm a vodka girl through and through. I'm very me and tequila are really bad for each other.
Okay, so funny. I used to just drink straight vodka with lemon. My favorite drink ever.
I did tell her it was not normal.
It's completely normal.
It's very normal.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT thinks you're a tequila girl.
Fuck no.
Since you mentioned she already drinks 8-1. Oh, no, that's...
No, wait, I do. Okay, I will.
I saw the 818 stuff.
Yes.
Let's run it back really quick. I do love a spicy margarita, but my one issue is I can't have too many of them. By the way, I became a vodka girly this year. My choice of drink used to be a very spicy margarita, but then I started getting panic attacks every time I'd wake up in the morning, and I got really, really angry.
Wait,
Shut the fuck up.
I think it nailed that
No,
one.
it absolutely nailed you on this already. I'd bet her favorite drink is tequila soda with lime. Clean, low-cal, no-nonsense, photogenic. Or a spicy, skinny margarita.
Yeah.
Read it. Wait.
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Wow,
I was a really big tequila girly, but if you want me out of my shell, you want me to fucking be really out there, yeah, give me some tequila, but no, vodka is now the way I go.
I love vodka so much.
Yeah.
I miss it. I miss her.
I do love a good 818 night though, I can't lie.
I mean, how can you?
It is fun.
Babe, as we both anticipated and predicted at the start of this podcast, it was just fantastic. I loved getting to know you a little bit more.
It was fun.
It was really fun.
was
I'm so
nice.
glad that you didn't realize you were coming on a podcast and
I
on
had
a
no
podcast.
fucking idea.
And we're going to talk about your podcast afterwards because, like I said, I'm the biggest advocate of bringing your shit back.
Let's bring it
It's going to
back.
happen. My darling, would you like to
Yes.
do the outro?
Thank you guys for listening. Check out one of our past episodes. Please subscribe. It helps us go a long way. And happy connecting. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.